Hello and welcome to another Fretboard Forensics with me, Reese Gerwin. So today we're going to be looking at the blues scale, the 7 positions of the blues scale. What? I thought there were only 5. If you've had some experience with the caged system, you'll see 5 pentatonic shapes. You'll see 5 pretty much of most shapes, except for maybe the major scale, which has 7. And these shapes, in my book, don't actually line up perfectly with that, but really it's not meant to be against the cage system. I think the cage system is wonderful. It's a really great system. It's just that I found, for me, and the way I like to teach this and think about it, I don't really like to only reference the open chords, 5 open chords. I didn't play them in the right order. 5 open chords to get all the scales, because really eventually what you realize is that if you move all these shapes around, they're not those chords. So the cage system is very focused around the open chords and where everybody sort of starts out with, and then they move it all up the neck, and they call this like the C shape, even though in 5th position it's actually an F. And they call this like the E shape, even though in 5th position it's actually an A, and so on and so forth. So there's aspects to the cage system that I found a little bit, I don't know, incomplete in some ways, but it still teaches you exactly what I'm trying to convey here. It's just a little different. That's all. It's a lot more thorough, I would say, and very specific. So, you know, if you're into that, that's great. If you're not, then I totally understand. It's not meant to restrict anybody to any system. Caged is great. This is great. I call this system 3 note per string minus 1, because all the major scales have 3 notes on every string except for one of them. Either the G or the B string does not have a 3rd note. But anyway, that's kind of a different video for another time. This is focused around the blues scale, and what we're going to do is we're going to play the blues scale in all 7 positions in one key, all up the neck. And I'm going to start down here with F major blues. I would call this shape right here, because this is the lowest F on it's a natural place to start on the fretboard. So this is your F. This could be in any position. I could play it here, right? And I can play it anywhere, but I'm choosing to play it on the 1st fret. You can really spend lots of time. The reason I made this book is because you can spend a lot of time on just one page and really get to know the entire fretboard in one scale type on one page. You don't have to like turn to the D page or the D sharp page or the E flat page. So my book has less pages, but it teaches you the skill of knowing the notes on the fretboard and understanding how the fingerings change based on where the root of the scale is. So if the root is on the E string played by the pointer finger and it's a major blues scale, this is what it looks like. Okay, this is what the fingering is. Now when I play up, I'm going to start. Okay, and then now I'm right here with my pinky on the D, and I'm going to slide up to that. So I use my index finger to slide from this note to this note. Now that I'm going down, I'm using my pinky. This is the same note as this one right here. These two are the exact same note, except they're on different strings. So they sound a little bit different and they feel a little bit different, because now I'm using my pinky to slide. Okay, so that is F major blues, 2nd position. 2nd position because the natural state of my pointer finger is on the 2nd fret, but I'm stretching it to the 1st fret. It's just a funny little rule that I follow. Now we're going to move to the next position. So for these diagrams, bottom to top, right to left. Okay, so I'm going to go down to this one because I'm up here and there's nowhere to go after that, so you go down back to the bottom based on that way of reading it. So now instead of playing this with my middle finger, I'm going to play it with my pointer finger right there. And then I'm gonna... Now this shape is a little funny because you kind of have to shift positions. Kind of have to shift your position around. So first I do an index stretch, and then I do these two with my ring and pinky, and then I go up here with my ring. Sorry, my middle and my pinky. My middle and my pinky right there, and then I go up to my ring, third finger. So I shift back. Same down here. The E strings are always the same. Okay. So don't forget to make music with these, of course, because these diagrams are, just playing scales up and down is not really music. It's just these are there to show you the fingering so that you can start messing around with them and like find a jam track in F blues on YouTube or wherever, I'm sure they're all over the internet, hopefully. You can find one of those jam tracks and like use it in, or if you find a blues jam track and it's not in the key of F, then take one of these shapes and apply it to the key that it is in. That's a great way to exercise that. Maybe another video. So that is our third position / fourth position. It's kind of both in this way. F major blues. So now this shape is called D index major blues. You could also play the minor, the A middle minor blues, but the major and the minor blues are the same, and it shows in all of these diagrams how they relate to each other. So there's a thing called relative major and relative minor in music theory, and the relationship of relative major and minor blues is exactly the same as that. So anyway, could go more in depth, but I'm just going to focus on playing all of these one key all up the neck. So now we're going to move bottom to top, right to left. Okay, you'll go to this shape right here. Now the pinky is playing the F on the A string. So this is A pinky major blues. And that would be right here on the 8th fret of the A string. So we got, and I'm doing that same sliding up with my pointer, sliding down with my pinky, and then maybe just do a little side slip there. Oops. There you go. And that is 5th position, F major blues. Next position here, instead of playing this with the pinky, we're going to play it with the middle finger. So now I'm on the 8th fret of the A still, and my middle finger's playing this. There we go, sliding up with the pointer. Sliding down with the pinky. Now the chord I'm playing is F7. It actually doesn't have the 7th in the scale, okay? So there's another scale called the composite blues scale that has all of it, and basically what it is a combination of the major and the minor scale, blues scale. Different video. So there you have it. That is F major 7th position, F major blues. Now I think, while playing scales up and down is not necessarily music, I still think they sound good if you just can play them up and down plainly, just like that. There's a lot of other stuff obviously that you can do with notes and scales, but I think it's a good place to start. Just can you play each note consecutively, very clean, up and down. That can really take your playing to a whole other level and give you a lot more control over your fingers. Okay, next shape. Instead of middle finger playing the F, we have pointer finger playing the F. So here we go. Okay, 8th position. There you have it. There's 9th / 8th position. I would call it 9th though. And then here, this is everybody's favorite blues scale shape. Finally, a normal one. What the heck is wrong with this guy and his weird shapes? So we have pinky Now, on the E string, so this is E pinky major blues. This is what I call the shape that you can move around all over the neck, but we're just sticking to F. So if you want to learn all the scales all over the neck in every key, then you connect all these shapes to each other, focus on where the root's at, and you pretty much read through them right to left, bottom to top. And so we're almost there. Almost got back to the one we started on, past the 12th fret. So here, we're going to start on the pinky. This one's super comfy for the fingers. There's no stretches, there's not a lot of weird shifting going on. This is everybody's favorite blues. All right, good shape. 10th position right there, pointer finger on the 10th fret. So now, this is the last one before we're repeating. Middle finger on the 13th fret of the E string. Sorry, I don't want to extend my middle finger too much there. Haha. So now when you get to that top part, I'll do that again. When I get to the top, I'm actually going to shift to 13th position. Chord there. There's a whole series of chord charts in this book too that you can use to match with these blues scales. The chord that goes with this one is the 7 chord, just 7, dominant 7, they call it in the technical theory world. Yeah. All right, now we're back to the pointer finger on the 13th fret of the E string, and this shape is going to be tiny, especially on this thing. Good thing I have a cutout. Yeah, and then there you have it. So we just played all positions, all 7 positions, weird positions of the blues scale, and hopefully I've already said during this video, but it's important to reiterate that you do not have to play these scales with these fingerings. They're really just there to show you a sort of region where all the notes are so that you can be creative. That's what music's all about, is make music with these things. Make some licks, make up some licks, make up your own music with these things, and throw on a jam track. Now, if you're a little more beginner with playing scales, then like I said, just start with playing scales up and down. Get comfortable with changing notes and just get comfortable with playing the scale and in your own way. But it is good to be able to play them up and down just like normal. And there's tons of different ways to apply these. You could say C major / minor pentatonic. So basically wherever you can use a major pentatonic scale, you can kind of use major blues ideas. Now, of course, it's going to sound bluesy when you put any of those ideas that you've done with the blues scale over wherever you're putting the major pentatonic scale. But it can be a really nice way to make something kind of spicier in your playing, especially if you're more used to playing just the pentatonic scale all the time. Or, you know what, maybe you're not used to playing scales at all and you just are trying to understand and learn. That's really great too. So if you want to get to know these diagrams in particular, apply them to some music, there's a free scale sheet on my website. The link's in the description. It's not the blues scale, but it is the major and the minor scale, which I think are very applicable to lots and lots of different music. I mean, the blues scale is as well. It's a great scale, but it's simply not the one you're going to get. If you put your email in, it's going to be the major scale. But you can always, I mean, heck, you can refer to this video, like throw a screenshot down, and there you go. Now you got the page. So anyway, this is the global type transposable fretboard. It just shows you how these all connect. So if If you're kind of confused about how all these connect, remember, if you want to just connect them up the fretboard like I just did, bottom to top, right to left, but you can also refer to this. And this circle right here shows you what the scale looks like in a 12-note circle. So this is how it repeats on one string, basically. This is like a string that goes around and around in a circle. But anyway, that's pretty much the video. I hope you got something out of it, and practice your scales and make music with your scales. Okay, it's not all about up and down, and they're good for helping you develop your technique too. If you're trying to get your alternate picking better, or you're trying to do symmetrical picking or / economy picking is what most people call that, definitely do that too. So thanks for watching the video, and have a great day.